And as we start our practice this morning, maybe you've already been in a few moments of noble silence. Maybe you're just joining us. An invitation to bring your hand over your heart. And this is the energy heart, center of the chest. And we usually start with a check-in on what's here. You can do this through body scan, mental body scan, and checking in with the heart space. For today, let's anchor ourselves in the heart space. The simple question, how's my heart? In some Buddhist traditions, the mind and the heart are one and the same. How far apart is mind and heart this morning? How far apart are body, mind, and heart? Over the next couple of months, I'd love for us to spend our Tuesdays on the Eightfold Path. And rather than the Eightfold Path being a rule book or these like really firm, prescriptive instructions, I'd love for us to practice uncovering how the Eightfold Path is already showing up in our experience and where we may find opportunity for incremental adjustment. I don't want to say improvement. Many of us who have been practicing together are maybe starting to uncover that everything is already here within us. If your practice needs an aspiration or a goal, perhaps it is in the undoing of our conditioning so that we can have greater access to all of this inherent goodness. And that's a really cool way to think about your practice, especially in mindfulness. So Tuesdays, we'll continue this exploration over a couple of months, the Noble Eightfold Path. There's 8. And then our Thursday practice will continue with insight practice. I'm just laughing a little bit because there's so many numbers and lists in practice. My little accountant heart just sings. You remember when we were exploring the Satipatthana Sutta, all of those lists were helpful and supportive when the Dhamma or Dharma wasn't written down. There were no texts that we could keep in our pockets or on our phones. So these were quoted and memorized. So the lists were very helpful. And we're going a little out of order I would love for us to start our unwinding or our discovery of the Eightfold Path. I'll actually just give you a preview of all eight, and then we'll jump into our object of focus today. So we'll be exploring right view. This is the truth of suffering. Right intention is some of the Brahmavihara practices. Right speech, right action, right living, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And I'll post these on the website and link in our group chat. For today, we're going to be starting with right speech. Right speech. And if we start to pull apart some of the threads of right speech, this is the abstaining from false speech, abstaining from malicious speech, abstaining from harsh speech, and abstaining from gossip. And before we jump into relational Dhamma practice, this is how our practice shows up when we are in community with others, when we are in relation with others, right relation or otherwise, unskilled relation perhaps. Let's start with examining how right speech shows up with that internal dialogue. For many folks, the speech internally, how we talk to ourselves, that undercurrent, the quality of our thoughts, and how we kind of are on this continuous loop almost of internal dialogue. Just pause for a little bit, or rather than pause, come into a place of observation. You may start with how the thoughts are being shaped in this very moment. Is there a big gap between thoughts? Or are they cycling pretty quickly? You can start with frequency, duration, and then start to uncover some of the qualities of your thoughts. How do they feel in your body? Where are they landing? And on the spectrum of quality, one end of the spectrum being compassionate, love-filled, caring attention, and on the other end, berating, filled with anger, filled with hatred maybe, anywhere in between. And we can start to expand our awareness to right speech when we are in a relationship. Think about your partner or your children or a close friend. Try to apply this mindfulness to a single person. How easy or difficult is it to abstain from false speech with this person? Malicious speech, harsh speech, or gossip? And widen your awareness and mindfulness one more time when you are in a larger group of people. This could be your extended friend group, your larger family, or a group of coworkers at work, anywhere, anybody. How does right speech show up when you're in a group setting? False speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, and gossip. And sometimes our personalities and where we land on the introversion, extroversion spectrum, or whether you feel confident or nervous in groups, some of these may present more strongly on an individual basis or in a group context. Just explore that in the mind for a little bit. And we'll spend a little bit of time here, space to recognize when speech, the internal dialogue, pops up in practice. Nothing you need to do outside of observe the arising. Notice maybe how long it lasts, and then notice when it goes on its way. A little time and space here just to practice. What it, what is or what would it be like to experience a more natural pace and quality of thought, of speech towards self? I don't mean the conditioned reality that you may be experiencing right now, the hyper speed, the hyper productivity, the multitasking, the potential negativity bias. What I mean by natural is that which is connected to our highest good. Those undercurrents, the deeper parts, the unending truth. Is it truly fast, accelerated, speedy, or is it a little slower? Is it a little spacious? Is the tone and quality judgmental, angry, or hateful? Or is it compassionate, abundant, and open? Now, these are all questions that you need to answer for yourself. Digging through all of that conditioning, all of the gunk, all of the layers, it can take time. A really helpful practice on the Eightfold Path is coming back to rain, which is a beautiful day if you're in southeastern Wisconsin to practice rain. We can practice that here, the slowing down, so that right speech off the cushion and in the rest of our day has a framework to come back to. When malicious thoughts, hateful speech, or gossip becomes apparent in your self-talk or your relational speech, you can recognize it. That in and of itself is incredible. What a superpower to be able to recognize in the moment that we've deviated from the path. That is incredible. You can allow the spaciousness, that recognition to unfold. When you have time, space, you can investigate the nature of that arising. Was it peer pressure? Was I in a large group? Was my introversion trying to protect itself? Was my extroversion being boastful? Was I coming into gossiping? Was I feeling pressure, which leads negative self-talk, berating, hateful speech inside? These are the questions and curiosities of the investigation and nurture, hand to heart. Know that this doesn't make you a defective person. Nurture the most tender, deepest parts of who you are. And know that we all fall off. We are all human. We're all subject to so many pressures, karmas, conditions. And then we begin again. If you'd like to bring your hand back to the heart space one more time. Now, for the next couple of months, we'll continue our exploration here. It may help if we can spend a little bit of time using visualization to bring shape or character to this inner light, this deep inner good, the ever presence of love, whatever. Oh, there's just so many words to describe it, and it's so different for everybody. So, if it's helpful, whether it's your highest good, your inner values, your North Star, your truth, that ever present light, that thing that transcends time, space, energy, abundance itself, what would that look like if it had some kind of form? It could be a color, a texture, a shape, something abstract. It could be a person. It could be an animal. It could be a plant. You don't have to completely commit to this shape or this entity. But as we go on in our time together these next couple of months, we're going to keep coming back to this ever-present goodness that the Eightfold Path helps us remove all that gunk from. Maybe something is obvious right now for a lot of folks. It's a bright white light or a golden light or a ball or fuzzy. As you consider practicing right speech off the cushion and in the rest of the day, give yourself grace. Recognize, allow, investigate whenever those unskilled moments of speech come up in self or in relation. Nurture this real goodness, this ever-present energy. And we'll close our practice here if it serves you to bring hands to heart center, slight tug of the chin to the chest. May the merits of this practice be of benefit to all sentient beings. We include ourselves in the circle of compassion. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'll get the Eightfold Path typed up and posted in our chat, so if you would like to reference it over the next couple of months, it'll be there for you. Thanks, everyone.